Welcome to the Chamber. We thank you for your investment and congratulate you on making a decision that will help your business grow. In effect, by making an investment in the Chamber, you have hired us to help you bring more customers through your doors and to work on your behalf to make it easier for you to do business in our community. Our efforts alone are well worth your membership investment, but if you would like to get more of an ROI, it helps to make a plan. We have a lot to offer, but we know you don't have a lot of time. Not every event, program, or service is right for every member. Don't waste time with a hit-and-miss strategy. Familiarize yourself with our programs, services, and our sponsorship opportunities. Think about how each opportunity could bring more value to your business. Consider your business goals. Do you need to build a stronger business network? Do you need more visibility in the community? Are you looking for more information and resources to help you run your business better? Consider the options that best meet your needs. If you're unsure, contact us. We're here to help, and we want to help. It's your membership. Own it.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Great Bend Chamber Coffee Live this morning. It is Thursday, October 22nd, so excited to see everyone hopping on here this morning and commenting. Those comments count. Every time you comment, your name goes into the drawing for a door prize, and it's a good one. I mean, I'm looking at it here, and I don't know, I might swap it out for the tube of chapstick that's sitting here because this is a good door prize. Really excited here this morning. Our guests today are going to talk to us about getting a good night's sleep. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I mean, if you're not getting a good night's sleep, I mean, it'll catch up with you. And right now, you know, definitely with this pandemic and all of this craziness going on, we could use all the help we can get. So sleep is good. So with that, I'm going to introduce our friends, our guest this morning, our host at the Pawnee Valley Hospital campus, the Sleep and Diagnostic Center. So this is Megan Donecker. Megan, good morning.
Good morning.
It's the M&M show. Yes, it's the M&M show this morning.
Yes.
Yes. So little trivia bit. Megan and I actually went to high school together, so we go way back, and yes. I'm so excited to see how she has been in, there's going to be another name for this, Megan, so forgive me, but in the sleep biz for several years, and yes. You're so knowledgeable, and I totally, you know, have seen your passion with it over the years, and I know Pawnee Valley campus is super lucky to have you back there, and just growing that. So tell us a little bit, why is sleep so important, and how can you help people get that, get the best sleep they can?
Absolutely. Thank you for all your kind words. And yes, we go back to old school, right?
Old school.
and really, I am lucky. It's myself that's lucky to have work here at Pawnee Valley, because it's a nice facility. It's like family. So I enjoy it. And so sleep, that is definitely my passion. There's no question about that. With me, sleep is not the best. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. You know, I preach good sleep hygiene, and, you know, there's a lot of work-induced insomnia going on there. I do have a presentation that I'll get started here in a little bit, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about that and some techniques and some tools maybe to help out there, because you're right. The pandemic has really made so many changes. But one thing everybody really needs to understand, sleep is our natural healing process. And if we're not getting that quality and we're not getting that quantity, it's just going to affect everything we do. So it's very important. And I want to stress that and give that information out to everybody.
Absolutely. Well, and I read once that sleep is when your body, you know, not just heals, you said that, but that is when, if we're cutting those calories or watching our pandemic, you know, the what are they calling this? The Corona 15 or whatever. You know, but if you're trying to cut back, sleep is when the weight loss happens.
Exactly. Yes.
I've been sleeping a lot, Megan, and I don't know that I'm really seeing it, but I'm
Well,
working
the
on it.
next question is, what's your quality of sleep? You might be sleeping and compensating for the lack of quality, compensating for the more that you get. It doesn't mean that that's going to truly help. So it's two parts. You want quality and quantity. And we look at it kind of like a triangle. You can exercise, you can diet, but if you don't get that sleep to get that good metabolisms going, the restoration's happening, we secrete these hormones at night and they start those metabolisms and all of those kind of things. We cannot exercise or diet away that weight. It's a lot of sleep, but then it's a vicious cycle, because if you have some extra weight, that makes our obstructive sleep apnea worse, and we're tired. We don't want to exercise. We crave those foods. And so it's a really vicious cycle. So it's important to see what's going on, not only quantity, but quality.
Right. So all sleep is not created equally, is what I'm hearing.
No, absolutely.
So tell us, how can the Sleep and Diagnostic Center, like, what do you do to help people optimize that?
Well, let me go ahead and get this PowerPoint started, and we'll go through some of those things. And if you have any questions, I don't know, I'm new to this platform, but I think it looks amazing. I will
really
just
awesome.
look at the comments.
I can see the questions. So if you're at your presentation, I'll watch for the questions here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just get that opened, and then you can tell me if you can see the presentation.
There, yes, it's coming up here.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, so yes, I'm not the only one here behind the screen. We actually have Julie Bugner-Smith with our foundation. She's here helping me out. And she's going to do some fun things with us today. She has a little bit of a testimonial and things like that. So she'll be coming here pretty quick. She's here. She's just helping me run the camera.
Great Bend is very familiar with Julie.
She's great. We love her. We love her. So just a small introduction. Like you've already said, I'm here at Pawnee Valley over here in Larned, Kansas. I'm a registered polysomnographer, which just means I study the brain and the breathing together. Just those fun things. And then with the Sleep Center, we are an accredited facility with the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. And like you said, my passion is to increase the awareness of sleep and its importance. But with myself, I love sleeping, but I never go to bed early. I stay up all night, then regret it every morning. And I do it over again every single day. So, I can always do better. What was that?
I said it's like the mechanic's car that's always broke down.
Absolutely. So the goal is for me to increase that awareness of what the sleep study is and that process, to increase the awareness of what sleep disorders are, understanding obstructive sleep apnea, the symptoms, how we test it, and why it's important to treat it. And then what to improve? Well, the patient's going to improve, yourself's going to improve, your family is going to start to improve as well. Us as technicians, we're going to be able to improve that process once everybody understands it. And our providers, we want to get that information to the providers. So we need to know what we need to say to those doctors to help them understand what you're going through. Because sleep is an interesting thing. It is our natural reoccurring state of mind and our body. We have to do it. We have to sleep every day. It's a necessity. And to do that, it will help us with our quality of life. So in order to stay healthy mentally and physically, kind of what you were saying earlier with the exercise and different things like that, we have to have that good quality of sleep. I like to talk about it like a computer. When you have a computer, it's physically active all day long. It's mentally active all day long. When you shut down that computer, well, then it's physically shut down. Mentally, it's doing all those defrags. So it's still working. It's just in sleep mode, but it's organizing all of those files and those charts and putting them away properly. And then if it doesn't get to do those, and it's always has to physically be working at night, and it's not getting those stages of sleep that you need, what happens? Ooh, the computer crashes. We're the same way, mentally and physically. We're going to start to crash. Our bodies are amazing things. It will compensate in amazing ways, but after a while, it can't do that anymore. So it's important to know that we need to treat our bodies well by getting good quality of sleep. So we look at insomnia, narcolepsy, and that's kind of where your brain is in wake mode And then all of a sudden it goes to that deep stage of sleep of REM. There's different severities of them. That's not a very common disorder, but we still test for those and we look for those. Then you hear about restless leg syndrome, periodic limb movement disorder. And with those, there's two different ways of knowing. Restless leg is kind of those tingling sensations, or there's cramping at night. Periodic limb movements is where you're kicking your legs at night while you're asleep, and it's keeping you awake, or it's keeping that bed partner awake. And it could be associated with how you're breathing. You might be kicking yourself, say, hey, wake up, start breathing. So we want to look at those things. Of course, there's shift work disorders. And then the most common is sleep apnea. So you have obstructive sleep apnea, which is, over 80% of the population is still undiagnosed, which is huge. We really need to decrease those numbers there. And then there's something called central sleep apnea. Again, that's not as common, but that's just when your brain tells you to breathe and not breathe. And sometimes at night, the brain tells you not to breathe. Obstructive is there's something in your airway closing. And we'll go into that into detail here. So you can see there's normal airway going here. And I don't want to get too technical here. I don't want it to be boring. But what happens is those muscles relax as you go to sleep. And the more they relax, you're not getting oxygen to your body. And your body, every organ in your body has to have oxygen. That heart takes that oxygen in and delivers it everywhere. And what happens when that heart doesn't get that oxygen? It's running a marathon at night, and it's doing some really crazy things. If you have fibromyalgia, you're not getting oxygen to your tissues, and it might not be necessarily so much of fibromyalgia. It might be because you're not getting oxygen to your body. It's not doing very well. So how do we identify those patients that have it? What are their symptoms? So a lot of times is I'm so tired every day. And when I usually hear or see these, it's when I'm checking out at Walmart or Dillon's and I hear, oh, I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm so tired today.
Yes.
Oh, my husband snored all night, or they're just not breathing. They're like a fish out of water. They're tossing and turning. I can't sleep. They're not sleeping. And there you go, abrupt wakenings because you're gasping for air and you're choking because you're just not breathing. You wake up with that dry mouth or the sore throat. Sometimes, you have allergies that can cause this here. Those morning headaches. I don't know if anybody gets those morning headaches, but if you get them first thing in the morning, it takes about 15 minutes for it to go away. And that morning fog, sometimes because that quality of sleep didn't happen, you're using those muscles in your neck and your back and your throat, and it causes so much tension. And again, oxygen. You're not getting oxygen to your brain. It's vital. So it can cause some morning headaches. Then concentration. Obviously, it will affect that. Mood changes, depression, irritability. Blood pressure, again, is that heart, that bottom number of the blood pressure is that relaxation. And if it doesn't get that restoration and relaxation, those blood pressure numbers can start to get elevated. Night sweats, decreased libido, type 2 diabetes. Again, that's kind of something, Megan, that you were talking about earlier. If we're not getting those good metabolisms at night, our regulation of our blood sugars are at night. Type 2 diabetes is. And then frequent uses to the bathroom. If you have to wake up to use the restroom, it might not be, you wake up and you feel that pressure on that bladder. It might not be because your bladder woke you up. You could have been breathing really hard and that diaphragm pushes on that bladder. And when you wake up, maybe from not breathing, the only sensation that you feel is the pressure on your bladder. Yes. So it might not be that bladder. It might be how you're breathing. So I'm not going to go into too much detail here. I mean, we look at what kind of causes the obstructive sleep apnea to be worse. Laying on your back, that gravity pulls back. And then you got that REM sleep, that's rapid eye movement. That's where you're dreaming and your body goes into like a physical relaxation so that you're not living out those dreams. It's huge. But if that's when we see those obstructions the worst, because that's when your airway's relaxed. And that's where you might not get good restoration with REM sleep because you have to wake up constantly or go to a lighter stage sleep just to breathe. It's a very important thing. So adults, I'm going to go ahead and pass through some of this because I want to keep on time for you guys. But I want you to know, yes, males and females have it. Males a little bit higher risk, but females, they catch up. It doesn't matter. Once they get to menopause, unfortunately, men don't know anything about hormones and females, but menopause will cause us, our apneas to be worse, okay?
Oh, goody.
Oh, I know, fun, right? So I'm going to get down here to the some numbers I really want to share. There's some important numbers. So actually, we'll go back to that. Sorry, I got ahead.
You're fine. You're fine.
We're going to talk about some testing. So there's a couple different ways that you can be tested in those processes. Before we do that, you have to have seen your provider. They have to send over an order for a sleep study. So it's important that you talk to those doctors about those symptoms that you might have. We do authorizations with your insurance. Most insurance covers sleep studies. And then there's two options. You can do an in-lab study and you can do a home sleep study. For the in-lab, I'm excited. We're going to give you a little bit of a virtual tour of the lab here when we get done with the presentation. But just to talk about it, we are looking for well over 80 sleep disorders. We do the COVID test prior to, because if we put on what's called a CPAP, it's forced air. There's an export valve. When that happens, if you happen to have COVID is air droplet. Once you put that mask on and that valve happens, it takes that from droplet to airborne. So it's extremely contagious then. So we just want to test it, make sure you don't have it. And then, of course, there's a quarantine time. So that's difficult for everybody to do. Sure. So we're excited with our new home sleep test. It's an advancement to our sleep world. What this does is you're able to come pick it up. We set an appointment, got to go through everything I've kind of already talked about, educate them, understand what sleep is. And we give them this home device and they're able to go home with it. And it's only 3 points of contact. So it's very minimal. It's really easy to wear. And it tells us even more information that we've ever been able to do at home.
Wow.
So yeah, it's huge. We love it. So it's the first and only disposable one too. So when you come get it, you wear it and then you take it home and then you dispose it. Now for that to work, you have to be able to download an app on your phone. With this app, it's simple. You run through it. You just push start, end of the night, you finish it, and then it sends the information to us securely. And then it says thank you, and then you can delete that app. So it's nice.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really helpful. I feel like that's neat.
Yes, and what's exciting about it is we're able to do them in Great Bend now. And this is what the information we kind of want to give you guys as well for anybody in the Great Bend area. I know we're here in Larned. We have our our testing site here. But we also have a setup site in Great Bend at St. Rose. So if you talk to your doctor, you can kind of give them that information as well. And so one of the things that we look at to be diagnosed with sleep apnea is the severities of it. So we look at what's called apnea-hypopnea index. Pretty much how many times you stop breathing on average in an hour, okay? So if you stop breathing from 5 to 15 times per hour, that would be mild. If it's from 15 to 30, that's a moderate case of sleep apnea. But if it's anywhere over 30 times an hour, on average, that's severe. That helps the doctor really understand how we're going to treat the sleep apnea, okay? So it's important to know where you're at on the severity part. And then after that, you're going to follow up with a sleep doctor or with your own doctor, one or the other. One of the things that we really do is if we schedule a sleep study, we're going to be there to help you through that process. So we're going to help you schedule with a consult doctor of whoever your provider wants you to follow up with or who you want to follow up with. We're going to schedule that the same time we schedule your sleep study because we don't want, we want to help you throughout the entire process. It's really complicated sometimes, and we want to take that complications out. And then, of course, there's treatment options. Like I mentioned, CPAP. It's just air. It's air splitting open that airway, kind of like a straw. So you can actually go through those natural stages of sleep like you need to. Breathe like a baby. Sleep like a baby, right? And then, there's exercise. Maybe it doesn't go away completely. It doesn't cure that OSA, but it can sometimes decrease those pressures that you have to have. There's occasional, if you have mild sleep apnea, maybe it might cure it. But if you see, I kind of like my minions. I like my images of my minions. And then there's oral appliances. So what those do is just pulls that jaw forward and helps with those obstructions. But sometimes it doesn't do, if you have severe sleep apnea, it might not treat all of it because there's tissues and things like that. Just pulling the jaw won't always help, but it is an option. And then positional, of course, if you want to elevate your bed or sleep on your side, you don't have as much weight on your airway. There's some throat exercises. Alcohol and smoking kind of cause swelling in that airway. And like you've seen earlier, it's a very small airway and it can cause some inflammation and those sleep apnea to be worse. And then there's like deviated septums, different things like that.
Wow.
So here, we just want to improve you as the patient, your family. We want to improve those daytime sleepiness, morning headaches, poor concentration, all of those things. And so,
are there different types of CPAP devices?
Are there different? So there was a question about, are there different kinds of CPAP devices? Absolutely. The way I like to explain that is, you got like Nike and Reebok out there. They're both really good. There's a lot of different companies out there that are like the same thing. Once one comes out with something, the other one comes out with the next bigger and better, or smaller and better in this case, right? And so there are a ton of machines out there. There are a ton of masks out there, and it's not like a puzzle piece that one little area fits everybody. It's the individual. So it's working with those DMEs, those durable medical equipment facilities. They will really help you through that process. But yes, there are options out there. So here's something I just want to share with everybody. So untreated sleep apnea, the risk factors that are out there come on, like driving drowsy. 1 in 5 crashes are due to driving drowsy. It's important to not do that. It's just, if you're not sleeping well at night, your body at a resting area, your brain says, okay, I can take that sleep now. It's almost uncontrollable. So it's really important not to put others out there at risk. High blood pressure, heart arrhythmias, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, and death. So if you have severe sleep apnea, you might be 4 times more likely to have a stroke. You might be 2 times more likely to develop depression, and 5 times greater to be at risk for cardiovascular death. That's huge.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
It is very scary. Same with cancer, 5 times more likely to die from cancer. Cancer thrives off of deoxygenation. So if you're not getting that oxygen, that cancer really likes that to those tissues. So it's important that you're breathing for many, many reasons. And then you might be early development of mild cognitive impairment a decade earlier, develop Alzheimer's 5 years earlier. I mean, it's just scary stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you're on a CPAP and you guys are listening and you've been on it for a long time, it's important to still follow up with those airway. So there's these devices on, like someone was talking at home, is there multiple different ways of treatments for CPAP? A lot of them have what's called a download, and it will tell you on average how many times you're not breathing an hour. The goal is under 5. And so it's important that you're your own advocate. You can download these apps, really look at what's going on. You wake up tired and think, why didn't I sleep very good? You can always look at that download and say, oh, I had a little bit of a leak. Let's fix that. But if you're continuously doing that, it's really important that you talk to your doctor or you talk to that DME, okay? Or that durable medical equipment facility. It's just like having a prescription of medicine. Once you're on that prescription, you have to adjust those dosages throughout life. Same thing. We have to adjust those pressures throughout life as well. So it's important to follow up on those. We do monthly meetings. I say we do. Right now we don't. we can't do it for social distancing, but we like to meet with our patients and just make sure how they're doing. We try to give them information about, what's their correlation? What's the risk factors of having a heart issue with obstructive sleep apnea? Or maybe it's one of those that are they're struggling. They can't get acclimated. And hopefully we can bring some tools and techniques to help them. And we encourage, talk to your durable medical equipment. Okay, so now I want to turn it over to Julie. She has a little bit of a testimonial that we'll go through real quick.
Awesome.
Oh, so here, should I?
Hi, Julie.
Hi. I don't
Here we
know. Am I
go.
minions? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I have a story. I have a family member that did not want to have the sleep test and was not sleeping at night, like up from 1 to 5. And it affects other people in the house too when they don't sleep. We knew that the sleep was a problem. I think people have a mental block about it that, it really isn't that, but it affects everything. It affects, like, sleep, just falling asleep, what Megan said, like coming in for lunch, falling asleep at lunch, coming after supper, can't, not enough sleep. So all of this with the COVID and everything, we found out there was some other heart issues and some other things affected by the sleep. Went on for a year before this is even taken care of. There's no shame. There's no age. The machine is so small, and it doesn't affect the other person's sleep or anything when they're sleeping with it on. But I can just tell you the night and day difference of having the machine. We had COVID, and Megan was so good, because then we were like, how are we going to do this? He needs a sleep study. We know he needs it. We know he has to have surgery, that's heart related and all this other stuff. So we did that home study, and we didn't have the nice disposable one that they have now, but I had to hook it up. And of course, I'm not medical or techie or anything, but we did that, and it showed the results were kind of scary, how much he was quit breathing and all of that. It was really bad. So 6 months into it, I mean, sleeping all night, some days sleeping in, which is like, I don't even know when the last time when that happened.
Yeah.
Able to, has to do something in the evening, has that energy, nicer personality, because they do get grumpy, because when you don't have sleep, it's like having a newborn baby, of course,
Right.
newborn parents are not happy people.
Right.
So I just I can't say enough of how having this over here at Larned, and then in Great Bend too. I mean, get the test. I mean, don't wait till it affects your heart or all of this other stuff. I mean, there's no shame or anything of having this test done. It is so easy, and it makes such a difference. And the statistics that Megan gave us, like on cancer and stuff like that, I didn't even know.
Yeah. The correlation there.
Sleep is just so important. So I can just say that it has made a big difference in our household having that. And then when you start talking to people, around the community, you'll be amazed at how many people have a CPAP machine. Now, somebody was asking about different things. They were so good about fitting it for him. And if it wasn't right, did he come back? He didn't want the full mask, so he got the one that was in his nasal or whatever. That's what he likes better, and that's what he's using. But, they make it so it's comfortable. And you can sleep in it, and it isn't. I think people think, oh, I'm going to have this on my face, and I'm not going to be able to sleep, and that's not true.
Right.
So I can just say that as not myself, but with my husband.
Julie, how are they to travel with? Like, if you are.
Oh, that's another thing.
Okay.
He had to have the oxygen too, because he had some deals, and he has to have that for 6 months. But you just go in there and say, we're traveling, and he has a little pack for his oxygen, and normally people do not even have that.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like a little makeup case thing. Mm-hmm. It's easy. And people that have it will not go anywhere without it.
Right.
I mean, because
once you experience a good night's sleep,
Well, it's like, what the heck? What have I been missing? I mean, you don't realize how bad it is until, but I think there's a real stigma about, and that's why I wanted to help Megan today, because I've lived it, and I'm just saying, wow.
Yeah.
It affects everybody in the household when someone's not sleeping.
And I appreciate her talking about it too, because I get to hear about the follow-up. Not always do we get to hear those things, but to hear about the transition, the transformation that she's went through herself is just great to hear. We want to help everybody with that. And, you were saying you don't want to go without it after you have a good night's sleep. I try to like to say, when you wake up and you have glasses, you're blind like me. You wake up and you walk away. Oh, I need to get my glasses. I can't see.
Yes.
We want the same thing when you go to bed. You go to bed. Oh, I can't breathe. I need my CPAP, So kind of the same thing. It's just something that we get acclimated to have it on our face. Well,
Right.
we're getting used to all these masks on our face too, but it takes some acclimation. Once you do, the quality of life just starts to change.
Right. And it's probably something that you don't even, kind of like glasses, you don't realize what you're missing until you put those new pair of glasses on and you see the world totally differently.
Yes.
Getting a good night's sleep has got to be the same. It makes me think that I should just do it just to see if I can get a better night's sleep.
Absolutely. Now, I got to put a little bit in there. So if you have someone that has a CPAP, it's important that you don't try it on your own because it could cause some confusion with your brain and your breathing. So, but no, I think doing the test, just see if you have it. You want to look at the quality of your life. It's you're not going to die from sleep apnea per se, but your body will have so many risk factors that you will die early on from that. This is a story I don't tell very many people. This is something personal to me and Megan. You probably know a little bit about it because we grew up together. But the reason I have so much passion for it is my father passed away whenever I was 10 from a massive heart attack in the middle of the night. And I made the decision that I want to go into the healthcare and help other families so they don't have to go through what we went through. But as I learned, it wasn't that it was a heart issue. He had some heart conditions, but he had severe sleep apnea. He was the old fuddy-duddy. Christmas, you have the pictures in the recliner, snoring, all those things.
Yeah.
But those red flags are out there. Let's start looking at those things. Don't ignore the snore is what we say, and really, really tune into your body.
That's good. That's that should be a hashtag. Don't ignore the snore.
Exactly. We love it.
So a quick question here, Megan, is how can people access the home study? What's their first step?
Their first step is really talk to their doctor. Their doctor has to send us the order. So it's talking to your provider, telling them their symptoms that they're having. So I'm waking up with headaches. I'm just tired all day long. I struggle to stay asleep at night. I have to wake up every couple hours just to relax. It's so hard to know yourself that you're having a sleep issue because your brain's trying to sleep.
Yeah,
it's hard to really know where it's coming from. It's usually your wife or your husband. They're saying, it's not normal. You're not breathing. Right. You're tossing, you're turning, all those things.
Okay. So they talk to the doctor and then they can issue that and then connect them with the Sleep and Diagnostic Center.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. Yes. That's great. Well, I think, it's definitely very important. And like I said, even just sitting here, it kind of makes me just think, well, if insurance does help cover it, it maybe because I feel like we all kind of, I don't know. I feel like you said there's 80% of us are undiagnosed. So that's a lot of people walking around very tired.
It's true. So do we want to do a little quick tour of our sleep room so they can kind of see if they do an in-lab? So over here, let's see. Let me pull off this, stop sharing, and so I can see what we're looking at. I did put my email up there, so if anybody has any questions.
Perfect.
Okay, so are you able to see me now?
Yep, we are looking right at you.
I talk with my hands. I apologize. You can't see my mouth, so I use my hands to compensate. Yes. So we have queen size mattresses with pillow top on it. So we try to make it nice and comfortable. We obviously have some fans, a reading light. This is what our device looks like in lab for a CPAP. Not naturally will yours at home be this big or look like this. It's because it does many modes and it reads to our tech room. So the tech's not in here adjusting it. It actually goes by a computer.
Okay.
We worked with the architects when we put in the building, and we actually have built in for our equipment. So we want to keep it a little bit nice and inviting in here and not see all those wires, which is kind of, we have this is where our oxygen and different things like that. So things are just kind of hidden. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you want to create that just cozy home-like experience, I feel. Yeah.
Yes. And then we can do a little quick Oh, sorry, I passed our nice big comfy recliner. A lot of people love sleeping in the recliner. You know, that's a risk factor. That's a kind of a red flag right there. You're elevating your airway. You're treating yourself. You sleep better in that recliner.
Yes.
Because your airway. Yeah, that's Julie said. That's what they did as well.
Right.
And then we have our shower bathroom. So of course, when you're done with the sleep study, you will want to take a shower to get all that paste out of your hair. So we have a double shower, and just the regular restroom.
Awesome. So it's just like a little hotel stay.
Yes. Safe.
That's awesome. Well, okay.
Yes. And
Very
TV.
cool. Yeah, there's so many things I think you can learn from this, and I think it's cool, you know, probably even for you looking at the results and seeing, you know, exactly what people are experiencing at night. So, you know, the more you know, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
I probably did like a word vomit and get all that information, try to get it out there. But I really hope people start listening and get that awareness out there and know that it's our quality of life. It really improves it.
I'm going back to edit my post to say, don't ignore the snore. That's what I'm leaving with.
Don't ignore the snore.
Don't ignore the snore.
Yes.
You coined that, Megan. Well, thank you guys so much.
It wasn't mine. I can't take full credit for it, but it's in our sleep room.
Yeah, no, you guys take a lot of pride in that, and I love that it's available here in Great Bend as well. So you're able to service just that many more people. And I know that everyone, I was just reading, you know, the comments, and people, you know, they really liked or enjoyed this information and presentation. So good stuff. So, and we'll make sure that your email address and
Great Bend.
Yeah, Julie. We'll make sure the website and your email address are posted here above. That way, if anyone has questions, they can contact you and get information. So, okay, well, I think we better move on to some announcements and then the big door prize. And then we've got a ribbon cutting at 10:30. So that'll be fun. That's going to be downtown on Main Street at Reperks here at 10:30. So as soon as we hop off here, we'll be hightailing it over to Reperks. So if you're listening, you're more than welcome to join us and come get a cup of hot coffee. Not because you haven't had a good night's sleep, though. So real quick, Michael Adamic is here with us. He's our chamber ambassador, and he's going to roll through the announcements. Michael, before I turn it over to you, I just want to give a shout out and a plug. The Barton County Young Professionals, if you've been noticing their Facebook post, they've been working to get donations for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So they're working on that. I think I saw somewhere where there have been 25,000 books given out for free to kids in the Barton and Pawnee County area in the last couple years. So we really want that program to continue so that children can receive a book every month for free. Okay, so there's a big push going on right now through the end of the month, through the end of October, because your dollars are being matched thanks to some great sponsors. So hop over to the Barton County Young Professional Facebook page. Maybe Leanne can drop the link to that in the comments over here, and you'll go to the United Way's website and make a donation. Any dollar, guys. They are 35 to 40% of the way to their goal. They have a goal of their goal is $8,000 in public donations, and then that is being matched. I hope I'm looking at my facts here. I hope I had that number right. but yeah, any amount is going to help get more books into more. And if you have a child or a grandchild that's receiving a book for free every month, maybe consider going and making a one-time donation just to continue supporting that. So that's till the end of the month, and those dollars are being matched. So let's help YP meet their goal, and it's really exciting. So, okay, Michael. Hello, good morning.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. And first of all, thank you, Megan, for plugging the Imagination Library. That's a big thing at the Great Bend Public Library, too.
Perfect.
So, yeah. If anybody is interested in signing up for that as well, you can go to the library and get information on how to do that.
Perfect.
Okay. So thank you to Megan and Julie from the Pawnee Valley Sleep Lab.
Yes.
And somebody was asking in the chat, they had a question about whether they can do it in Great Bend. And I got a message from Pawnee Valley, and it says the home sleep test is available at the St. Rose campus in Great Bend.
Perfect.
So you can go there to get that.
Yeah, very user-friendly. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. As Megan said, today at 10:30, so in just a few minutes, there is a ribbon cutting at Reperks Coffee Shop that's on 1216 Main Street. That's at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
October. The month of October is Kansas Manufacturing Month. So
yes,
keep that in mind. And if you can, thank your manufacturers for helping make our life a little bit easier. Tomorrow on Friday is no school for USD 428. Sorry, I skipped some more stuff today. USD 428 is getting out at 11:30.
Yes, they get out today. Early today.
Yes. And the Great Bend Public Library is having an adult and teen take and make craft from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So just stop by the library and pick that up. Okay, back to Friday. Tomorrow, no school for USD 428. And then beginning tomorrow and going through December 1st, the Barton County Arts Council is sponsoring a display at the Schaefer Art Gallery at Barton Community College. And it is the Friends and Acquaintances Art Exhibit. So that's tomorrow through December 1st. Saturday, October 24th, Long's Pumpkin Patch is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the Great Bend Kiwanis Club Halloween Drive is at Britt Spa Park from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Usually that's at the library, but because of COVID, they're doing that in the Britt Spa Park. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sunday, October 25th, the Long's Pumpkin is a hard word.
I know. It's a rough word today.
Pumpkin Patch is open from 1 to 5 p.m. And then next week, Monday, October 26th, the County Commission meeting is 9 a.m. at the Barton County Courthouse. Chamber Chat Live, What's Up Great Bend? That's at 2 p.m. on the Chamber's Facebook page or YouTube channel.
And that'll be fun that day because we're going to, Christina, Sarah, and myself will be talking some more about our favorites, but we're going to be focusing on manufacturing. So we're going to take our viewers a little behind the scenes, and you are going to be surprised on what happens back there.
Cool. That sounds very cool. Also on Monday, the Noah's Ark Preschool is having a fundraiser night at Pizza Hut from 4 to 9 p.m. And that's at both Pizza Hut locations in Great Bend. And the Hoisington Chamber of Commerce is hosting a drive-through barbecue from 5 to 7 p.m. in the parking lot behind Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And Megan, do you know if that is in Hoisington or is that in Great Bend?
Yes, that is in Hoisington.
Okay, yes. I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Tuesday, October 27th, the Great Bend Public Library is having Trick or Treat for children from 10 a.m. to noon. And then Wednesday, October 28th is the next session of the Aligned Leader Master Series, the online program, and that is from 9 to 11:30. And then the next virtual chamber coffee is USD 428 Foundation, and that's like this one, virtually on YouTube or Facebook. And then next week, we're also having a ribbon cutting for Petroleum Electric, which is a division of Hammock Electric, and that is at 701 Adams Street. Is that at 10:30, Megan?
Yes, that is at 10:30.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That is all the announcements. Now it's time for door prizes.
Yes, now it's time for door prizes. So big shout out and thanks again to our host this morning from the Pawnee Valley campus, the Sleep and Diagnostic Center. They have put together this amazing gift basket. You can see that. Oh, there's our host again. Okay, so we've got, it looks like, Megan and Julie, all things in here to help you get a good night's sleep. Outside of an actual CPAP. I do not see a CPAP in here. But yeah, we've got a really nice blanket in here. There's some lavender lotion. Lavender is very soothing. There's some Dr. Teal's soothing lavender.
It's a hot tea bath.
Thank you. It's a hot tea bath. Yeah, I'm not giving this away. So
there's a sleep mask in there too. You can't. It's hard to see it.
There's a sleep mask. So okay, so our winner is. This is kind of funny. Honestly, it's kind of ironic. The winner of this is Megan Hammocky. So we have all these Megans.
Go Megans.
Megan Barfield, Megan Donecker, and Megan Hammocky. You win this. Wait, where's my coupon? There it is. This fabulous gift basket, courtesy of Pawnee Valley Campus Sleep and Diagnostic Center. So Megan, you can come down to the chamber and pick that up today until 3 or tomorrow from 9 to 3. So Julie and Megan, thank you ladies so much.
Thank you.
And please support Dolly.
It's good to see part of your faces.
I know.
Exactly. Okay, everyone, have a great rest of your week and weekend. Go get those pumpkins. Go get those kids out to enjoy some Kiwanis fun for Halloween. And we'll see you back here Monday afternoon to give you a peek behind the scenes of some manufacturers in the county. Thanks, everyone.